Come join me, Tyler Johnson, as I drive down to Bradley, Illinois to go talk with Bobby Moon from Chicagoland Aquariums on how he runs his business and how he got to the point to where he is right now. If you guys are looking forward to these videos, I have a few more coming out, so please click that subscribe button and post a comment down below. Hope you guys have a good time. What's up, guys? Tyler Johnson here from YouTube and Addictive Aquaculture. I got Bobby Moon here from Chicagoland Aquariums. Say what's up, Bobby.
What's up, everybody? I'm glad that you guys came out today, man. I'm so excited about this. You don't even know, I've been geeked all day long. So,
well, we have been geeking out all day. Basically, your whole crew was here today, unloading about 10 boxes from Sea-Dwelling Creatures, all with a great success rate. Your team put these away with very few questions on what to do. I'm just blown away by the success I saw today just being here.
Awesome. Yeah, well, I mean, we have to get it done as efficient as possible. I mean, you know how it is. But sea-dwelling, we never have any problems with. Everything came in really awesome. A lot of the fish were eating today, especially as seahorses that came in.
I saw that.
Eating today by the end of the day. So that was pretty cool. Some fish already went because some customers had to have them. So yeah, everything went really well today. The crew is it's all because of them, because they're so awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen it. I didn't have to tell them anything. They all know what's up, man. They're awesome. That's what everything is behind Chicagoland Aquariums is the team. That's for sure.
Yeah.
All right, what's up, everybody? Bobby from Kush Corals. Everybody always knows I'm talking about we can always get so much done because of the crew. So this is my chance to introduce to you all the guys that make it all happen. We can't do nothing without the crew, without expanding this way online and expanding through the service company. That's how we do it. So what I want to introduce to you is the crew that gets it all done. So first coming up, we got our service master. This is Justin Jeffords. You guys know him. He's on Facebook. Without him, we can't do anything. This guy does all the services. You got an emergency call, he's there. You need him to change some rocks around, he's there. This guy does pretty much everything. He's been in the hobby for quite a while. His dad had an awesome fish tank. I can't say enough about this guy right here. If you want to say what's up to all the Tyler subscribers, Tyler has been awesome to us. Justin's a man. I can't say enough about this guy. So the next guy on our crew, we call him the floater. This is Camille. Camille is awesome. Camille, we met actually through the store, was a local. What do you do here, Camille? What do you say?
Pretty much whatever you need done.
Anything. You need the garbage taken out. You need somebody to bake something. You need to clean a fish tank. Camille's there. Camille's awesome. Everything is clean because of Camille, Justin, and also my cousin, who also works here, Shop Master, Austin.
What's up, guys?
You all know him, the youngest guy in the game. Ladies, calm down. He's available. Hit him in the DMs. It's all good. This guy runs the shop. When you get labels printed out for us to ship stuff out, he's doing that. When you call, he's answering the phone. I mean, this guy does it all. So that's our little crew right here, and we stay busy. These guys work 5-6 days a week, more if I could have them do it. So that's the crew. I appreciate all you guys.
Yeah.
I know they don't like being on camera all that much, but we had to pull them on and had to do it.
Yeah.
So
Gotta sacrifice, man.
yep. So that's
Thanks
the
for
Kush
having me,
Corals
man.
crew. My cousin,
Yeah.
love this guy. He's all right. Thanks, guys.
So basically, you know, I like to start out every kind of little interview with how you got into the hobby and what makes you do what you do right now. So if you don't mind sharing a little intro on what sparked your interest in getting into the hobby, and then what sparked it to make it turn into this business that you have. And it sounds like you guys are already ready to upgrade to a new facility. And
Yeah, you've seen that.
yeah, aquaponics, horticulture,
Yeah,
freshwater,
all that, ponds, everything.
Yeah, so
definitely. I just think there's so much opportunity out there. It's just about going out there and getting it and making it, you know. As far as like sparking that interest, I guess just like anybody else, man, you go to the fish store, dude, and you see something that you've never seen in person. And it's just something with the flow and the, like I'm like a real big guy on vibes, and fish tanks have a vibe to it, you know, and it just kind of got me. And it didn't take long for me to just get hooked, you know. You get a tank, you get a filter, you get a fish, you try to get another one, it dies because you suck at what you're doing because you don't know anything. And then it just rolled from there for me. But yeah, I guess I took it a little bit more serious, obviously, because it turned into a full store. But that was like 15 years of my life leading up to this point or whatever. So fish tanks have been a haven for me, get me out of trouble. When people tell you find something to put your energy into, it's like fish tanks was my calling, you know what I mean? So I just love it, man. It's so addicting. I'm meeting people like you, and it's just been crazy. In the year and a half that we've actually had the storefront, it's mind-blowing how much we've done, but then you think about like how much we're gonna do, and you're just like, for me, it's just crazy, man. I appreciate it all. It's been awesome. So
well, the coolest thing too is you're part of the help to help sustain the hobby and provide the service. I mean, there's so many people getting into the hobby right now, and so many people, looking which way to go in their part of their design on their system.
Yeah.
I mean, another thing too is you guys are like we're in Bradley, Illinois, and I think the nearest place is how far from here?
Saltwater, besides your PetSmarts that carry just limited stuff at the moment, probably 45 minutes or so drive, I would say.
That's awesome.
For sure. So we don't have much competition out here or anything. It's just such a growing town, but we're just in a good timing, I suppose, is what's happening here. You know what I mean? So that part's been really awesome. But as far as like you said with helping people in the beginning, you kind of saw today when some people came in and they didn't know what they wanted. They knew they wanted a saltwater tank, but they didn't know there's a difference between a saltwater fish only and a reef tank. And like, is this light going to work for this? So what we try to do is show people the difference. My whole thing is to give you the different options. Like, I wish somebody would have told me, here's what's probably going to happen here, and here's what's going to happen here. Try to do it this way. Obviously, we want them to research on their own too. But we are here to help people. That's where my passion is when you come in with a problem, I want to fix that problem. So when you come in next time, you're like, this dude knows what's up. He'll help you, and he spreads that on to the next person and so on. And that's really the goal of our brand, is what we're trying to do. So
no, and that's awesome. And that's part of what we're supposed to be doing in the hobby alone, is leaning on each other, finding a mentor that's in the hobby, and then going with those skills and passing that on to the next person.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes it sounds kind of like conceited, but sometimes it's like people don't understand sometimes when they have a nice store in their town, how good that is for their little reef community, because a bad store and bad advice can go south so fast, and then it ruins it for everybody. Everybody's heard saltwater's hard, because somebody failed somewhere, and then they spread that word. So for us, it's just about being that person to lean on. Your tanks got a problem, come to the fish store. We'll help you. We'll board your fish. We'll help you with this disease, whatever it is. That stuff to me goes a long way. And it's not about the dollars at the end of the day. It's about the love for the hobby, because we fully believe that the money will come. It's just about loving and living this industry and this hobby and helping it grow and being the best we can,
Well, I mean, I tell my friends, I tell my customers, if you focus on making a living instead of focusing on making a killing, everything just seems to fall right into place.
Yeah.
And that's real important when we, do this hobby and try to pass on the knowledge when we're dealing with live creatures.
Yeah.
So basically, in this video, guys, I definitely want to cover your store. I want to cover the service tanks that Justin takes care of. Your cousin Austin works here. He does a great job putting everything away.
We call him the Frag Master.
The Frag Master.
Yeah, Frag Master.
And I just had a blast getting to meet everybody. So first off, I want to cover, where do you sell your corals?
So our corals, first and foremost, are sold in the store. If you're a local, you are just lucky, because you get to come in first and kind of cherry pick. I always post when we get stuff. So you saw that today. There's people kind of looking in the bucket still, getting the cherry picks. The next thing that we do is we try to let them open, get healthy and stuff like that, take some nice pictures, and then we post, just like you, we have a Facebook group that we're trying to grow, Kush Corals, sales and auctions.
Check it out, guys.
Tank Dank. That's what you're going to want to go and find.
And the shirt, he gave me the shirt today.
we got to hook them up with the shirt.
Yeah,
we give away a shirt every 100 new members.
You just posted it. We just posted it right here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got to give one away pretty soon, or I owe some people some shirts probably. But yeah, so we'll post auctions, we'll post pictures, WYSIWYGs. I'm kind of random. I feel like it's somewhat of an art, so if I'm feeling like taking pictures and working late, I will blast a ton. If I'm not feeling it today, I'll wait a day or two for corals to look better. We'll frag maybe first and see what happens. It really is a feeling thing. If we're busy, we might not get to it, but we try to post at least 3 times a week. I think that's a good, we want to put boxes out every day is the goal, so 3 times a week, 2 times a week is pretty good.
No, that's awesome. So basically,
Also our website, kushcorals.com.
right, awesome. So you got auctions going on Facebook as well, correct?
Always, yeah. In the group, we do auctions. Like we'll post every 5 minutes a consecutively ending auction for an hour or two. People are pretty familiar with it. There's plenty of groups that are out there. This one just happens to be just us as a store. It's like a group for brand awareness for Kush Corals kind of deal, you know.
Awesome. So guys, check out his website. Join his group, guys. If I can post any cards or little buttons or anything, I will. But if you don't see any of those, just go down into the description and you guys will be able to highlight everything you need to know. So thanks again, man, for sharing that.
Thank you.
I know people always kind of wonder where to get stuff, and a reputable place.
Yeah, and anytime they ask any questions, whether it's on the Facebook page, the group, the website, anything, that goes right to me. It's not a drone or any type of like algorithm that answers it. Man, it's me. And if you don't get a reply right away, it's coming. I got my hand in the tank, or
Awesome.
we're dropping boxes off, or whatever it is. So that's what we're trying to build, is a one-on-one type deal. You don't like the picture we posted? Let me know. I'll get you a video of it. That's kind of really what it is. It's me and my crew. We want you to get to know us, and so I know who's handling my coral. I know exactly where it's coming from and stuff like that. So anything that we can do to make the experience the best online, because it's not always great with some places and stuff happens. That's what we're trying to do. We want the experience to be great. As far as any DOAs, if you get something DOA in the bag, show me a picture. I mean, we totally will cover you. We're more than reasonable. I've shipped out stuff and lost my ass on a lot of stuff, just to make people happy,
It's part of the business.
Yeah, it is. It is what it is. But through all the support and everything else, we make up for it and stuff like that. So, and as soon as we help somebody else out, like with a problem, and go above and beyond, they refer 2-3 more new people. So it makes up for it, in the long run. So
Awesome.
you get it.
So, basically, I don't want to, sell ourselves short right now. I want you to give some tips, since we're talking about business, we're talking about selling and things like that.
Okay.
And, earlier behind the scenes, we kind of talked about the risk that gets involved in taking care of business and everything like that. But the biggest thing is just doing it and taking it to the next level, like you said.
Yeah,
So-
I fully think that you could read books all day long on inspiration and stuff, and I think those are good. I've done that too. But at a certain point, it's not about reading or anything anymore. It's about action. It's about just like put one foot in front of the other. Like the mountain is super tall, but you got to start with one step.
Yes,
That's
you
kind of
do.
how I look at it. And before you know it, you look back and you'll be like, damn, I did a lot. That's kind of how I feel. And I am an entrepreneur. I own multiple businesses, and I want people to know that. That it really is just that risk, that leap. That's how you fly, is by jumping off the cliff. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's rocky, but it is what it is. Before you know it, you'll be flying, soaring, cruising. That's pure laziness. That's because we're flying so high that there ain't no time for that. No, that and my hair gets thinner on the top of my head, so I just want to let it grow here. Pay more attention to that. You know what I mean? It's like a magic trick.
Well, first off, Bobby, thanks for sharing all those tips with us. Thanks for sharing how you got into the hobby and everything.
Of course, man. I love this hobby.
Now, the coolest thing is these tanks, man. They're all show quality. Everything's super healthy, super clean. They weren't even cleaning tanks when I got in here, guys. They were just putting away fish. All they had to do was wipe down the glass today.
Yeah, I mean, typically there's a routine. Tuesdays we clean everything, so this way Wednesday when we open the store, it looks good. Today we had fish coming in. Sometimes it doesn't work out where they come in Tuesday.
Yeah.
So you got to deal with it. But it is what it is. I appreciate that, man. Anybody who's into the hobby understands what it takes to keep the stuff alive and clean. And anybody who appreciates it, I appreciate them, because that's my team. They're awesome, man. I mean, you can't outwork them. So.
No, that's awesome.
all them.
That's awesome, dude. Well, let's start off by talking about this tank right here.
Okay,
What
awesome.
is this, baby?
So I call this the 4x4. When I started Kush Corals, which was just basically a Facebook website for my zoanthus to show off, get some likes. That's what this tank was in my basement. And then we just thought, when we started the store, man, it would make such a nice little centerpiece. But what we really use this tank and this setup for with the TV is for the auctions. If you buy a coral from us, the picture goes right there. So it'll even have your name, your coral right there. So we can't even screw it up. Like it would be impossible to. So we pick out your exact coral, bag it up, and then it goes out right to you next day, priority. Other than that, this is our zoanthid tank. You see the AI souls. I swear I was probably the first person to buy a Soul light. I thought they were cool.
Now, what are you doing for your lighting schedule for this one?
Super low lighting. I think I'm at like, on my max is like 35 or 40% in the blues, and then like.
And what is this? This is about what, 13, 14?
Well, we're here pretty late because we've been here for a while, so this is probably low now, like 20% on the blues or something. But I never go past like 10% on the whites. This is a shallow tank. I think a lot of people need to understand that shallow tanks, you gotta go pretty low on the lighting, you know. LEDs do really well for me with zoanthids. I do have in these shaded areas here a lot of mushrooms and stuff. They seem to do pretty good for me there. So it looks like there's a lot of flow in this tank, but there really isn't. I mean, it's getting a decent
surface
amount.
agitation.
Surface agitation is everything.
That's
for sure.
Good gas exchange.
Yeah. Other than that, there's a Reef octopus skimmer that's on here. There's a UV sterilizer. That just helps us from not having to clean the glass all the time. There's a carbon reactor, a GFO dual stage reactor. There's a Nintendo 64 hooked up to this bad boy.
The Xbox 360?
Nintendo 64. That's what we got here. We can't get too crazy. We got to work around here, so we go short attention span.
I'm
games.
an Xbox fan.
I'm a old school wrestling fan, so we play wrestling on the screen right here. Other than that, I just like this little tank. I thought I had it, so it was just nice
it's a great
to fit
tank.
in. Yeah, AI has the hardware right here that we just drilled to the top of it. So I think it looks good. It works for what we do. We keep it a lot blue. A lot of people like that for the zoanthids, but what's nice is I have the controller, so if somebody goes, can you turn the white lights on or whatever they want, it's a flick away, so we just change it for them.
So now, as far as the water changes and chemicals, additives, any of that stuff, what do you do for this tank?
I think you'll find that what we do is pretty simple. It's a water change once a week or every other week, just depending on how the tank looks. It's kind of a feel thing. We'll dose amino acids, sometimes like a fuel. Sometimes we'll use Acro Power. I'm not really too picky. I like to switch it up a little bit. Same thing with the foods. We feed our tang. A lot of people have seen our seaweed video. This guy eats like crazy. I do iodine once a week, usually Lugol solution. And then it's more just eye for detail. You're looking for parasites. You're looking for things that are messing with your corals. There is an auto top off on here, so it doesn't really fluctuate too much or anything like that. With the open area here, it would lose a lot of water and change in salt level. It doesn't because the auto top off. I think that's key. But we're not crazy with, like, there's no dosers or anything on this tank yet. Actually, you'll find there's no dosers on any of our tanks because the goal was to train everybody the way that I was trained to do it, was to not have rely on, you like that?
Mm-hmm.
To not rely on products that just make us lazy at the end of the day. Yeah. I mean, you got to know how to hand dose a tank before you buy a dosing pump for a tank is how I feel. And then it just makes us pay more attention to the tank. If I got to check this thing and dose it, I'm paying a little bit more attention to it. And what we tried to do here was stay small, so we can't really get lost in, well, we got all these tanks to take care of. Let's make sure what we do it really, really well before we just get into too much stuff, you know?
No,
but
dude,
nothing
that's
too
awesome.
crazy on here. We do dip the zoanthids like all the time. These trays are kind of the size of the containers that we dip in. So I'll pull a lot of the zoanthids in and out and dip those maybe once or twice a week, and we cut off of them a lot and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, nothing too crazy.
So how many gallons is this again?
This is 120 gallons right here, 4 foot by 4 foot by 12. Probably, I don't know, what do you say, inch acrylic or so?
Oh yeah. All right, guys, so this is the fish-only system over here, and this is the 80-gallon frag tank, correct?
Yep.
And you're lighting it with T5s?
This one, T5s, yeah, I don't go too crazy. It's a 4-bulb unit, but we usually use it with 2 bulbs for the most part. Right now, I think we're full blast right now, 4 bulbs.
Awesome. Lighting schedule for this tank?
This one, I didn't even put on a timer. I literally just turn it on when I get in and turn it off when I go home. We'll put a timer on it. I would recommend that you don't go more than like 8 hours, 9 hours on the lighting.
No, that's cool. Now, you got this system over here, which I think is so cool. You had the acrylic tanks made for this. You have your buddy weld up this frame here that holds,
shout out Eli,
suspends this. Yeah, you do great work. He also built the stand for this one too.
In a day, like I asked him, in one day. So yeah, it was awesome. So yeah, we call that our floating system or our invert system, I guess. Awesome. It's nice. We just kind of had to utilize our space here in such a small store, so we cascaded it back like that. Like I said, Eli did an awesome welding job.
Now, does that have a sump?
It does have a sump. It's just a 40-gallon breeder tank. Just drains right into a filter sock. I'm big on UV sterilizers with tanks like that with a lot of inverts. It just helps us from cleaning the glass so much. There's a carbon reactor on there, I believe, and that's it.
That's
nothing
awesome.
too crazy. Water change once a week on that one.
These are both 120s right here.
Yep, they're connected.
And they're both connected. It looks like it's fish only, so you don't need
fish only. It is treated
have high-powered light.
Yep, we treat it with medications or anything we need to.
Awesome. The fish look great. They look healthy. I think you sold a ton of fish today.
Yeah, we sold a giant eel today. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, awesome. So you also get sumps. You also get tanks. You also sold a Red Sea I saw go out the door, which it'd be exciting to see that tank go up on
I can't wait to see
Facebook if you see it. Now, any other little tips and tricks that you can give to some of these hobbyists on having tanks like this, fish only system?
I suppose the main thing is if you are going to do a fish only, decide it's a fish only, meaning no inverts at all. So this way you can treat any problems that you have. When I say fish only, I mean fish only. Nothing else is ever going to go inside of there. It's easy for me to treat that way. The way that I do it and was trained on to run a salt at a lower level, maybe like 0.17 or 0.017 to 1.8 or so. We run copper if necessary. I don't try to go heavy dosing on the copper, but I'm not one of those people who, doesn't believe in copper at all. We definitely will use copper in that system. We even have some clients that run copper all the time in their tank, and they've had puffers for, 10 years. So we run copper sometimes if we come up with any issues, but really it's about the feeding, and it's about not over cramming and giving them somewhere to hide and knowing their personality that's not going to fight with each other in a fish only. Take it slow. Remember that they're going to grow. A grouper today that's really cute like this is going to be like this in a couple of weeks. And we try to keep that in mind. We get fish in by the boxes, so we don't want to overload anything too crazy. Water changes once a week on there. We add a pH buffer to the water when we do it. I'm typically checking the copper level maybe, the temperature always, consistently. I try to keep it at 76 to 78. Keep on the salt level, and you should be good to go. Buy some healthy fish from a good store. That's a key. Don't just throw anything right in there.
No, those are some awesome tips, Bobby. And I saw you do this with every single customer that came in today, and I find that inspiring. That you're getting to do what you love. Make a living at it. Your wife even has a bakery here in town.
Yep. She's inspiring to me. She works more than I do. So if you ever see me talking trash about how much I work, she's probably just rolling her eyes because she's up before me and she goes to bed after me. So bakery right down the road, Heather's Custom Cakes.
Check it out. I mean, I've seen some videos of you munching on that stuff, and it looks good.
I didn't get this body by working out or drinking water, so yeah.
Heck yeah, buddy.
I did introduce him to some Aurelio's Pizza for anybody who's interested.
Gosh. Well, we are here in Chicago.
Let's not say Chicago because typically anybody who really lives in Chicago will just bash us for that. This is not Chicago. We're a suburb away from Chicago.
Yes, exactly. Chicagoland Aquariums.
Chicagoland.
All right, guys, so we're on the other side of the fish-only system. So, Bobby, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about this?
Well, I like my tanks like I like my chicks, bare bottom, you know what I'm saying? No, I'm just kidding. Don't show that to the old lady.
Well, it's going in.
Of course it is. That's fine. For me, the bare bottom is, for one, it's about keeping it clean. I can siphon it real easy. If a piece of krill, because I'm trying to overfeed because a fish is new and I'm trying to baby him and maybe he doesn't get that piece of krill, I don't really want that to just decay and to go in the sand and then to turn into just nitrates and everything else. So the goal is to just keep it nice and clean. That's pretty much it. Some people think it looks unfinished, but it's just more ease for us, really, is all it is.
All right, so this is on the other side of the fish-only systems. This is the 180 show tank, and yes, there's a little bit of sales that go on, and some things that just don't get sold because you can't catch them.
Yep.
But most of all, it's a gorgeous tank. I love everything about it. The fish look happy. This is gorgeous right here. I even shot a close-up of that. You got a cleaner wrasse in here, self-end tank, the gold nugget. Where'd that guy come from?
Those are from Sustainable Aquatics. Shout out to SA. Those guys do a lot of good product for us.
Awesome, awesome. So what we're going to do is I'll go ahead and open up these doors. I'll let you guys check this stuff out, and you can kind of see what runs the system and how simple and efficient it is, and you get great results.
Yeah,
So,
we're going for simplicity pretty much when I build systems. I don't go too crazy. You can tell, not a lot of dosing pumps or, auto things, anything like that. Just a lot of water volume. It's just a giant sump with a bunch of water and the biggest skimmer that I could get in there that I could easily work with, pull in and out.
Yeah.
Filter
That's
socks.
a Super Skim.
Super Skim.
XP 5000.
Yeah, 5000. It's probably an older model because I've had it for so long.
Hey,
it works so good,
If it doesn't work,
I have no reason to change it ever. It works great. You can see it's pretty scummy. I don't know if that's the protein skimmer or you. I can't tell what smells.
Not me.
I will say it's the skimmer. The filter socks right there. I believe in filter socks. I don't know. Other people I see, some do, some don't. Definitely use the filter socks.
Now, what do
for
you
us.
do with your filter socks?
Like once or twice a week, we pull them out. We put them in the
Awesome.
sink. I got kind of like a pressure little gun that hooks up to the utility sink. I just kind of blast
Yeah.
it. But filter socks I would say are a must. The skimmer we clean probably twice a week. Clears out the whole store. It smells terrible when we clean that skimmer. Other than that, like you
Propane.
see, lots of body of water basically.
Yes. Well, what is this? This is a.
I would say it probably holds 60 gallons or something like that.
It's about a 48-inch sump. It looks like.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice. It says it's a Reef series. I'm not even sure. It's a pretty old model. Obviously,
Yeah.
this was something that I just kind of had and just kept with it or whatever. If, like you said, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
You got the Rio pumps in here running this.
Rio 3100s, I do 2 separate pumps. Anytime you have 2 overflows, I like to do 2 returns. The reason being, if one pump goes out, my tank still runs. And hopefully I can get to the store in time to get another one. If you only have one pump that's teed off, not only are you losing some pressure, but if that pump goes out, your whole tank is out. So that's my idea between
Redundancy.
Yeah, and the Rio pumps, for me as a service guy, it's about availability. If you got this crazy pump that's on your tank and I'm taking care of it, it's in the back of my mind at all times, well, where am I going to get this pump from? If it's somewhere that's common, I can get it, we stock them all the time, that's what I'm going for. I want to be able to replace it quick, so... and Rios, I've never really had a problem with. You replace the impeller every once in a while if you have to, and that's pretty much it.
Now, you got GFO carbon. You service that kind of how?
So there's GFO on one side, carbon in the other. I typically will do every 2 weeks, we'll change them out, but I'll let the GFO go in between changing. So for instance, I'll do the carbon, the GFO today. I'll let it go maybe a week or 2 weeks. I'll change the carbon out. I'll leave the old GFO. And then what I'll do is the next time that I go to change them, I'll just change the whole thing out. I let the GFO go a little bit farther. If the tank looks good, I'm not getting any algae. I guess I don't really feel the need to change it out every 2 weeks. The carbon just makes my tank look awesome. It makes everything look better. Yeah. I think carbon you're better to use in small doses more often than you are to do like a giant dose at a time. It's not that hard to change those things out. So every other week or so.
That's awesome, awesome. So, we covered the filtration. We covered basically the brains of the whole system right here. Now you have lighting that we have to deal with. What lights this tank, and can you give me a little bit of a schedule of what it does?
So what you see here is Aqua Illumination Vegas. This is an older discontinued model, but like you said, not broke, don't fix it. Yes. So we're running those typically at about 40 to 60% on any of the blue colors, maybe 5 to 12% on the greens and reds.
Yeah, right now we're at 20.
Right now we're on a manual mode because we're here late filming. So we're at about 20% white, 60% everything else. There's probably a little bit of greens or reds put in there. I don't really go much past 12 on the whites, but you got to keep in mind I have metal halides that come on behind it, so that's making up for me not having those whites on. I really like them for control, for color. They're easy to sell because when I'm sitting behind the desk and I have the controller and a guy's never seen a lightning storm on a fish tank, it's sold like immediately. It's like, oh man, I'm bringing my buddies in to show them the lightning storm. So I like that for the fact, and the blues obviously at nighttime when I'm here vibing out, when the store, like you're here with me now and it's nice and quiet, man, it's the vibe out with the tank and just, reflect on all the things we've done and, get ready for the week.
All right, so you covered your AIs that you have right here.
Yep.
You covered the lighting schedule on here.
Yeah.
Now, there's 3 400 watt, what bulbs are in here again?
Those are radiums, 400 watts, lots of power. We go like Tim Allen, baby. Power it up.
Yeah.
Some of the reefers that I follow online, it suggested things like that to me, like, well, let's do metal halides, let's do T5, let's do it all. I kind of like the best of all the worlds. If I could do it again, I'd even put a bar of T5s probably on this thing. It actually has power compacts in here. I just never plugged them in or turned them on or anything like that. But this runs for about 6 to 7 hours a day. It is on a timer. I mean, what can you say? It's a metal halide, man. It grows everything that you need. It looks awesome. People ask me, like, how my anemones look that awesome. It's the metal halides, I think, and, you know, water quality and everything else. But that's pretty much it. Hamilton is the Hamilton technology that we went with. There's plenty of brands out there, but the bulb, I think, is really the big issue. For us, radium is just awesome. I love the color. You saw it earlier. I'm sure you got some footage of the tank when it's on. It looks amazing. So, I know you can't really complain.
So now, are you fragging some of the things in here, or like I see you have a lot of these rose bubble tips, right?
Yeah, you know, people ask me about those all the time. When this is how I treat corals. I don't like to be a chop shop. I don't want to just like to make a sale, hack something. When those anemones are moving and they're easy for me to get, I'll sell one.
Yeah.
But I'm not really trying to break them up or anything like that. This is more of a show tank. But yeah, some of these are actually from customers that have grown them in their tank, and they go, these things are taking off, take them back or whatever. So
no,
this is a sunburst right here.
Yeah, I noticed this one right here.
And there's another one somewhere back there too. And then these, I don't know, they're just rainbows. They kind of, some bubble up, some don't.
So it looks to me like you got your 2 Rios running for returns, and then you have these MP40s. How long have you had these for?
Since the first ones that came out. I mean, if you look at the controllers that are down there, it's old school Atari controller. It's old. I mean, I've had them forever. I used to have 4 of them actually on this tank. The other 2 are actually powering the frag tank and the 120 tank over there. So I still have them to this day. Like you said, if it ain't broke, man,
great investment.
Those actually were. You know, people debate a lot. Do I want to spend that much on a power head? I mean, your money is definitely well spent if you go with one for sure. So I can tell you, I've had these things for years.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing your tips and tricks with this tank
for sure,
and what makes it
anytime.
run. And I hope it inspires you guys to get one of these 180-gallon tanks, or maybe a frag tank, or maybe a full-blown store.
Yeah, or you want to fly me out to set up a full tank?
Hey, me
we
too.
We can arrange that. Yeah, both me and you. We'll tag team it. It's going to cost you.
Heck yeah. All right, guys, so we're over here at the 28 Nano Cube from JBJ. If you haven't checked out Bobby's YouTube channel, look at the comments down below. You guys can subscribe. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, subscribe. He's going to start shooting videos of his systems. He's already got some tips already on there. I saw them, and hope you guys enjoy his channel. So this is a tank that is a plug and play, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is something that we try to catch attention when you walk right in the door. Somebody who thinks like, oh wow, I didn't know I could do a little reef tank that small and that successful.
So basically, you know, you got a lid. This is pretty much the brains of the operation.
It's all-in-one system, no sump. It's got an opening in the back with a little, like, I call it like a little caddy. It's basically like this little plastic thing that holds a filter pad and some carbon. 2 return pumps. Pretty simple. I mean, you go home, you fill it with rock, sand, water, plug it in. The next day, it's going to be clear. It's got the lighting to grow coral. It has a few options.
What kind of lighting?
This one is the CF Quad. This is the one that we sell the most of. It's more in the affordable range for a full setup for a reef tank. So we sell more of these. It's a CF Quad, meaning compact fluorescent is the lighting that's in the system. All the other tanks that series that they put out are the same tank. The hood is different. Like there's an LED model and a HQI model. We sell the LED and we sell the CF Quad. I've always personally had the best luck with the CF Quad. I think it just grows corals like amazing.
Oh yeah.
I could throw corals in here that have been dying in another system and they pop right back up. So I like it. We sell more of these than anything else, really.
Now this is glass, right?
Yeah, this is glass. A lot of people think it's acrylic or plastic or something because it bends. This is a nice tank right here. I mean, it's easy to clean because it is glass. You're not worried about the scratches and stuff like that.
It's got its own stand.
Simple. Yeah, when we service these tanks, honestly, my guys can be in and out in 15 minutes because
you hear that?
It's so easy,
and then
you know?
that's what a person at home could be spending on their tank.
Yeah, a lot of times people see us do it once or twice and they go, I think I got it. And then they start coming in and buying their own water, which is totally fine. We want them to, if they can do it, awesome. If you don't want to do it, we come out and do it also. But sometimes people think something's wrong because it takes us no time to clean this tank, and we're like, no, it's just that easy, and we have the routine down. So sometimes you got to play it off and chit chat with them a little bit, because you don't want to just be in and out. You know what I mean?
Well, while we're talking about servicing and stuff, what
Okay.
would be something that you would do on a tank like this in that 15-minute span?
Yeah, so let's say Justin comes out to your place. Typically, if you don't have a water source that we like or that we know, we're going to bring our own water, because a tank like this, a 5-gallon water change, I mean, it goes a long way. You'd be surprised. So we bring a bucket of salt water, a bucket of fresh water purified, just in case their salinity is off or something like that. We wipe the glass, change the pad out, rinse the sponge that holds the pad, dump out the carbon, add GFO if we need it, do a water change. We siphon, we have a nice little smaller siphon hose. We do a 5-gallon water change, dump the 5 gallons back in. I mean, it's so simple. If you got an empty bucket and a full bucket of salt water, you already know how much to pull out. You just match what you have, dump the rest in. Sometimes we'll warm the water up, maybe put it in a bathtub with some warm water if you want to warm it up that way, and just pour it in slowly, and you're done. I mean, it's not really that complicated. And that's, let's say we do a water change maybe every 2 weeks, 3 weeks or so. There's probably people that go a little bit longer, and there's definitely people that do it weekly.
No, that's awesome. I mean, and if anybody in Chicago, what's your area? Bradley?
I would say we're near Kankakee, Bradley, Illinois. We're not far from Chicago. I mean, me and my fiance go to Chicago all the time. It takes us 45 minutes to get there. So
what about your farthest client was what was that? Right?
We travel, about an hour and 15 minutes each way. Really, for sure. We cover a lot of ground.
So if you guys want to look them up on Google, I know you're there too. I'll put the links up here. You guys check them out.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, Bobby. So I saw you mixing up some salt today. You were selling some water. I'm assuming this is where you make your water for your clients when you guys go out for your service calls and whatnot. What's going on here?
So yeah, this is our water source. This is where our fresh water goes after it goes through the purification machine. We have it lined all the way up into a float valve, so this way you can fill up at night. We don't have to worry about any floods or anything like that. That stays just fresh water right there. And we sell a lot of fresh water. That's pure RO water. We have a TDS meter, reads 000. We have a chloramine monster because we have some chlorine and ammonia out here in the water. So that's about as good as it gets right there. And then the barrels on the side, every morning we mix new salt water for us, for customers, for whatever we're doing. And then at night, whenever we're done with a barrel, it gets rinsed out, kind of scrubbed out, and then dried, because I found if you keep using them with salt water, they get a little bit gross. So that's pretty much it. That's pretty much what we work out of. When we do services, we put 2 barrels together, goes in our truck, in our car. We do a water change. We mix the new water in there. We're trying to get in and out as quick as possible. So I work out of the brew containers a lot until we get a bigger building and we can get more of these and fit them in here.
Yeah.
It works fine for now. You can get them from any of the hardware stores.
No, that's awesome, man. Let's go check out this tank over here.
Sure.
All right, so this is a 4x2 120 gallon glass tank, right?
Yep, correct.
So you got 250 watt.
Radiums on this one also.
Awesome. What is this right here?
This is a current true lumen little strip that we kind of tried out, and ever since we got it, people have been asking us about it and stuff like that.
I mean,
So
it lights the tank up great.
yeah, it comes with there's a dimmable switch feature that you can add and stuff like that. It was kind of trial and error, but it's actually pretty nice. We got a lot of lights on because we're filming and stuff like that, but at nighttime, man, it blows up. It actually is really, really nice.
Awesome. Now, you've got a sump on this tank?
Yeah, there's a 40-gallon breeder on here, nothing insane. We just recently ripped this whole tank down, took everything out to add a skimmer to this system. On this one, we were trying a simplicity skimmer on this tank. So far, working pretty good, but just a regular 40-gallon breeder with a filter sock holder. That's pretty much it. Nothing too insane here.
Awesome.
No carbon reactor on this one just yet. We throw some in, literally throw it in a bag and throw it in the sock. But this is a tank that we're building up. We want this to be probably an SPS tank, so we're gonna add on to it. This is just kind of throw some stuff in there for now. We just reset it back up a couple days ago.
Now, I'm very impressed with your guys' husbandry skills. I mean, your tanks, they look great, man.
Thank you. You know how it takes a lot of time and experience and money wasted, and
Oh, yeah. Well, as far as you selling out of this tank, obviously the things that are in here are for sale, correct?
Yeah, I mean, we'll sell pretty much anything out of this tank. I try to put in stuff that does the best. Right now, Ghani's just seem to really do really well in here. But like I said, eventually we want to turn this into a nice SPS tank. But yeah, this is for sale. We sell a lot of stuff out of here, or sell a lot of stuff out of here.
Awesome, man. Well, let's head in the back, man. Let's go check out the look down tank. These are awesome little hydroponic tables that you can use for growing coral or keeping live rock or whatever and keeping the price down.
Yep.
Let's go check it out. All right, guys, we're in the ship center slash frag slash look down. This is that hydroponics tub I was talking about if you guys are interested in those or anything like that. But this is where the magic happens. This is where I guess you seal, cut your bags, ship out. You got your scale here for your live rock, which I'll show you guys. And you got your bags on a reel here.
Yeah, just quicker, easier, no double bagging because they're so thick.
Yeah, so you just basically pull as long as you need it.
Yep. Seal it, cut it. We usually use pretty small ones to save up on space.
Yeah.
2 seconds. And then that's
awesome.
good to go. That thing right there, I mean, you can't pop that thing. It's pretty thick for sure.
Wow, guys, check it out.
No leaks.
No leaks.
That's what we want.
So this is the frag tank then?
Yeah, pretty much, or the grow out. I mean, I guess you could call it whatever because we do have colonies and stuff inside of here. I've made a couple of videos on Facebook about it. It's just about babying the tanks, and the shallow environment is just awesome for feeding. It's really easy to baby a coral that's in here, you know?
So you turned off the pumps. What pumps are on here?
This is a Jabo DC 1500, I believe, that's on this system.
Awesome, and it looks like you got 4 outlets, 4 drains, and no spray bar or anything in there. You got them cranked up all the way, and it looks like you got them doing some surface agitation.
Yeah, just nothing crazy. I'm not trying to blast anything, but I do want it to ripple across the top of the tank, which we get a pretty good effect. I did have to put in the double drain after we first set it up. It just wasn't enough draining, and it was too much flow, but I didn't want to kill any flow, so we just went ahead and drilled another hole, and everything's been pretty good since. I love this tank.
No, everything's looking really healthy.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's doing okay.
I'm like tripping out over here because it's almost like they're out of the water. I mean, that looks like it's out of the water.
It's close.
It's so clear.
There's a few corals that probably are going to start poking out of the water once the water's goes down for so long. But it's on the Jabos have a time feeder button, so it'll come back on in 10 minutes. And what's nice is my customers can come in, they know the button's there, they push it, they look what they're doing, and then it comes back on automatically. I don't have to mess with it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's nice.
So it looks like you got your light about 3 feet above the water surface?
Yeah, probably even a little bit higher, right?
Yeah.
I honestly think it could go even higher. It's such a shallow tank.
Oh, yeah.
I probably only have 4 bulbs running at the moment or so.
ATI.
ATI, I'm a big fan of ATI, especially their bulbs. I really, really like their bulbs for color-wise and growth and stuff.
That's awesome.
So there's like some blue pluses in there. I think there's a purple plus probably in there somewhere. I like it, and it's got an LED strip that we added just to pop some color at nighttime.
Now, what is that from?
You know, I couldn't even tell you. That's something that a customer came in and was like, "Yeah, you guys want this light?" And I go, "Well, let me see." Yeah, it's got a little dimmer on it, and it works pretty good.
Yeah.
So we try to be as resourceful as possible.
Now, I see that you have some orange stripes down in here. It looks like you use that to kind of separate out the tank. What are those things?
That is to make it look like there's a method to the madness, but I don't know. No, some of it is some of our homegrown stuff that we're not trying to sell. We just want to keep chipping off of.
Beautiful Blastos over there.
Yeah, the Blastos are really pretty. A little tough to keep for me. You've got to really baby them, find the right spot. The microenvironment is huge for those guys.
No, they all look great. Now, what are these guys right here?
Some leptos. Looks like they're coming back. I had like a little outbreak of some red slime. This tank will go in and out of salt level faster than others because of surface area. So if we slip on it a day or two, we'll get some red slime here and there. And I think those took a little bit of a beating.
No, the tank looks great, man.
Everything does pretty good. Mushrooms, we keep our bounce mushrooms in here, our acans, our chalices, a lot of anemones. We keep a lot of anemones in here. It's easy to do. It was cheap. It was probably the best thing we could do for this little corner of the store.
No, you're using the whole space.
Yeah, I think so. And everybody seems to really like this tank. So we take a lot of pictures out of this tank, a lot of fragging out of this tank. Once a week water changes because it is so shallow and there is so much stuff in there. So that's pretty much it. I mean, it's pretty simple. There's nothing to clean. There's no glass, which is what appeals to me, you know?
Yeah, it's easy to work on, and I mean, you can easily look to see if you have any pests or, see if anything's going on with your corals without having to look through, whatever this is, what it is, 3 feet.
It's 3 feet by 6, and as far as the height, I think it's like 7 inches or 8 inches or so. There's little grooves in there that we had to actually plan to put the legs within the grooves so we can get as much height. That was my fear, was that this tank was too shallow.
Yeah.
So, but it seems to work out pretty good. You can see the pumps coming back on now just on their regular timer. So it's a pretty cool little tank. The flow makes it hard to see, but yep, the timer just kicks it right back on.
Well, there you go, J-Bo.
Not bad. It's been working for us pretty good, so.
Awesome. Well, let's go check the backside of your store. This is where you house some of your live rock, your dry rock. You have some eels, some of your fish back here,
Yep,
seahorses. All right, guys, so just behind us to the right, there's this other system that is connected to a 150-gallon sump that's full of live rock. Why don't you share with us what this system is and how you take care of this tank? I mean, it's spotless.
Oh, thank you. That's, like I said, all the crew that works here, and some of the snails, they're doing a pretty good job too.
Yeah.
We call this the Clarity system or the Seahorse system. It's made by a company called Clarity Plus. This was just given to me by a buddy.
Awesome.
And we threw it in, and it just so happens that another separate buddy had a Clarity Plus. So later on, this was all added later. This wasn't here at first. But this is basically somewhere to house all my snails, my urchins. If somebody brings in a coral or like a rock that I don't really want to put in my systems, I'll put it here first and we'll watch it and stuff like that. Seahorses in our slow moving section, we kill the flow a little bit over here. I mean, that's pretty much it. And then on top, what we connected was kind of our mandarin, wrasses. Sometimes we put some anthias in there. But since it is connected to the horse trough with all of the live rock, there's just so many bugs and copepods and every type of life form that these guys need. It does really well. And then the sand is for the wrasses. There's even wrasse rocks where we want them to bury themselves when they first come in. And then we just baby these guys when they come in. We feed nice and heavy, lots of mysis shrimp for the wrasses and stuff like that. Lots of different pairs of clownfish, just whatever we got in stock at the moment.
What is this you got over here?
So this system right here, we call it the QT system, quarantine system. It looks a little weird, but it means a lot to me because there was a store in Kankakee called Pick-a-Pet, R.I.P. Pick-a-Pet. It was a store that had this like Mars system on the wall. It was a freshwater system. They ended up going under, I believe the guy who owned it, who was just old, and whatever happened, the store wasn't there anymore. Worked there when I was younger. So when they went under, I went and seen what they had for sale and tried to refurbish all the stuff they had. But you're talking about a project, man, to make this look like this. We had to take every seal apart. We had to clean everything down to stripping it all besides the silicone. And then replumbed it. You probably can't see where your camera is there, but there's like some work inside of there.
Yeah.
And it's just, again, this whole store is so small. It's for me about packing my stuff in an area. So
utilizing the space.
Yep. A lot of times our fish come in here and they go here first because they get quarantined here for the most part. And then this isn't our ghetto lids. This is actually a purpose so our eels don't jump out because we've learned the hard way on that before with the eels jumping out.
Well, you learn from your mistakes.
Yeah, that's just our little quarantine system, but it just has a lot of like charm to me because we built everything from scratch, and it is a piece of Pick-a-Pet, and we are about less than 3 to 5 minutes away from where Pick-a-Pet was. So to me, I remember it, and anybody who comes in and they go, remember there used to be a fish store, and I go, yeah, I used to work there, and this is part of the system. It just has that type of value
lives
to me.
on.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, the coolest thing is you definitely utilize, the things that you get for free or the things that you got to refurbish and the spaces that you need to do, and you can show that it's really simple to set up a shop
Yeah.
without dumping a lot of cash into
Exactly. I
it. There's
think,
a very small risk. You just got to do it.
It can be a big risk if you put so much in. I think people that try to talk you out of it will tell you it takes $250,000 just to get started. And man, I am the proof that it doesn't. It really doesn't. If you're going to start a fish store, though, you do have to learn about plumbing and stuff like that. I mean, there's no way around it. Sometimes I hear people that are like, oh, I'm going to do it, but I need somebody to plumb stuff. You got to learn that part. That's just the meat and potatoes of it all, you know what I mean? But once you get that down, you can do stuff for pretty cheap. I mean, you'd be surprised. You go on Craigslist, people are giving stuff away.
Yeah, Craigslist is a great place.
Yeah, Facebook, there's so many groups. I mean, there's tons of groups out there. Ours, yours, there's tons of them. There's like equipment groups out there specifically for equipment. People want to help you, especially if you know what you're doing and stuff like that. So I would tell people it doesn't take as much as you would actually think to do it. You know what I mean? You do need some capital, you need some money coming in. But as far as this goes, I mean, there's no way we dropped. You can tell from the videos, we didn't drop 150,000 or anything in here. The risk was small, but the reward has been so big, and we can always add on. I can always get a bigger building and stuff, so it would have been hard to like struggle to pay the bills at first. Let's go small and let's see what we can do, and man, you will surprise yourself. I promise you that. So
well, Bobby, I appreciate all the time you took. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that 1 hour plus video of Bobby Moon and his crew and what they do here at Chicagoland Aquariums. I had a blast. I can't wait to come back here next year and see the growth and the success from this. Please, guys, post a comment down below, share the video, come shop at the shop, or go and check out the websites or the Facebook groups. Hey, Bobby, I had a blast, man. This was an awesome experience.
We almost got stuck.
Yeah, we almost did.
It's like Velcro.
But hey, I'm really proud of you. You inspire me to take my business to the next level, and I'm sure you inspired a lot of other viewers on there.
Man, I hope so. I appreciate you coming out, all your subscribers, everything, man. It's been a blast hanging out with you. We only got an hour on video, but it was a full day, so it was awesome, man. I can't wait till I see you next time. It's gonna be so
awesome,
sick.
buddy.
Awesome.
Well, glad you guys watched. Next thing, I'll keep you guys informed is Salt Critters. On my way to go check out him. Most of all, guys, take care of those tanks and happy reefing.